Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We're about 5 minutes from starting. Heads up, we have gone live with our worldwide audience on the webcast. 5 minutes out from the live presentation.
I've had better nights of sleep. In the dark, you're my only friend, the only one to truly depend on. And I finally feel free.
The way marketers reach customers has changed throughout time. The message jumped from a printed page to a speaker, which then became a screen. But it doesn't matter how you reach your customers if you're not giving them what they need when they need it. If we're only adding to the noise, the screen that should be connecting us can quickly become a wall that separates us. People need to feel the human connection from the other side of the screen. Break through and start forming connections that count with Contentful.
Contentful Vice President of Solutions Engineering, Sarah Sullivan.
Welcome to the Contentful Innovation Showcase. I am your host, Sarah Sullivan, and it's such a pleasure to have you all join us here today. We have a great lineup for you. We're going to hear from our CEO, Karthik Rao, about the latest vision that we have for marketers. Then we'll hear from Kimberly Gong. Kim's going to walk us through all of the product innovations that have been included in our latest launch. Lastly, we have a great set of customers that are joining us live here today, and they plan to share how they're leveraging these new innovations in their organizations to drive more value. Doesn't that sound exciting? I agree. So please join me in a warm welcome for our CEO, Karthik Rao.
Thank you, Sarah. Hello, everyone. It's great to see you all here, and welcome to the Contentful Innovation Showcase. We are live from Berlin, Germany, the birthplace of Contentful, where all the magic began about 12 years ago. We're very, very excited to share some of our new product innovations with all of you here today, but I'm particularly excited about the customer panel, so you can hear from some great customers about how they're actually using our products to drive real value in their organizations. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to thank all of you, the Contentful community, for your strong support over all of these years. Unlike a lot of enterprise software companies, Contentful was built from the ground up with support from everyday practitioners like most of you. Many people have been doing things the same way for 30+ years. You all saw something different and chose to bring a new approach to content management. And today, thanks to your support, we are a community with 50,000 sites globally, more than 300,000 users, more than 20,000 applications built on the Contentful application framework. And we estimate that if you combined all the traffic globally across all the Contentful websites, that we would be one of the top 5 global websites in the world. So thank you for all of your support. Now, as we look to the future, we're faced with a tidal wave of change to marketing organizations. These disruptions are much larger than the disruptions we've seen in the last 2 decades. Larger than mobile, larger than cloud, larger than social media. Artificial general intelligence could be the largest disruption that humanity has ever seen. And while there are debates about if that threshold has already been passed, one thing is certain: AI is shaking the ground under most organizations. The impact in marketing is particularly strong, particularly for top of funnel. As consumers are getting more and more of their information from agents like ChatGPT and Perplexity, the way marketers shape top of funnel perceptions is fundamentally changing. These agents are getting information from everywhere. They're getting information from social media, from user groups, from reviews, from competitors, disinformation from competitors, and of course, all the information that organizations have across all of their typical channels. So when a company does engage with a prospect mid-funnel, it's never been as important to really engage those prospects, to deliver customized, personalized experiences, and to build a really trusted connection with the brand. In other words, it's never been more important to create more content and more relevant content. The challenge is that most organizations are not set up for success in this new world. Let's take a look first at the technology stacks. The vast majority of content systems in the marketplace today are based on technology that's older than many of the practitioners who are actually using them. Anything outside of the simplest change can take weeks and months and involve multiple teams and oftentimes external agencies. How will this model scale in a world where you need to create 100 times the volume of content to feed these digital agents? Even if an organization has its content operations in order, personalization historically has been a tough technical problem to solve. Getting a consistent view of your customer data across all of the touch points historically has involved a lot of data integration work with significant effort from multiple data teams. And that's just the technical problem. The much bigger bottleneck is the labor required to scale up content production. Most organizations today spend an inordinate amount of their marketing budgets on agencies, particularly body shops, to produce all of the content variants they need to power personalization. And there's only so much budget to go around to support these initiatives. The good news is that the technology landscape is evolving to support your organizations in this new world. Let's start with the labor problem. The impact of generative AI on marketing organizations will be nothing short of transformative. Yes, there are certainly some adoption barriers to consider, and the state-of-the-art models still have some limitations, but it's only a matter of time before these models solve the content production problem at scale. Imagine a world where you could produce infinite content at near zero incremental cost. How would that change your personalization strategy? How targeted could you get with your content experiences for all of your prospects? Achieving this vision requires modernizing your technology stack. Most digital experience platforms come from the Web 1.0 world. They're optimized for the slow, expensive process of human content production and human review. They assume a legacy view that all of your content and all of your data needs to be centralized and controlled in order to create the personalized experiences. They are not suitable for today's emerging worldview, where marketers need to focus on the creative, digital agents scale up content production, and technology solutions must embrace, rather than fight, the natural order of decentralized content and data. This brings me to the evolution of Contentful. The founding principles of Contentful happen to be the required building blocks for enabling efficient use of AI in marketing. When we pioneered the concept of a headless CMS, we enabled you to write your content once and reuse it across all of your digital channels. We understood that in today's world, it's tough to centralize all of your content into one system of record, and that no one wants duplicative information. So we leveraged your content wherever it lived and integrated with whichever systems you used. We were able to do all of this because we treated content as data. Instead of seeing content as static pages that you build once and discard, we saw experiences as a dynamic assembly of reusable content blocks. We were born in the cloud. We were API first. Working with the ecosystem was and continues to be core to who we are as a company. In the last year, you've seen us expand beyond our roots as a pure headless CMS. While we remain committed to being a composable API-first solution, we see an opportunity to bring our unique product philosophy to a broader set of problems. Our goal is to help our customers navigate a complex technology landscape with simple, well-integrated, easy-to-use solutions. Last year, we introduced Contentful Studio, which brought the same concepts we have in content to the design world. Create your design systems once and use it across all your digital touchpoints. Simplify the creation of new design layouts and eliminate the friction in the handoff between design and marketing. Make it easy for any marketing team member to create rich new experiences that conform to your design and brand guidelines with minimal coordination. And today, you'll hear a lot more about our newest innovations in personalization and AI. Personalization has never been more critical than it is today. We are bringing many of the same innovations that we have in other parts of our portfolio to personalization to deliver on this promise of personalization at scale. There are three unique aspects to Contentful personalization that I want to touch on. Number one, a focus on components, not pages. Number two, a very unique view on data. And three, contextual AI. Let's talk about components first. Why is this important? Page is dead. Long live components. Could you imagine personalizing thousands of variants if your atomic unit of measurement is a page? How would this translate across all of your digital channels? how could you ever really keep track of thousands or millions of variants? The only scalable way to personalize is to personalize reusable components and not pages. The second key aspect of Contentful personalization is that we activate your data from any source, and we're not opinionated about being your system of record. This dramatically simplifies data operations and makes it much more practical for a marketing team to create and manage meaningful audience segments without extensive engagement from data teams. And the third key aspect of Contentful personalization is contextual AI. Because the entire Contentful product portfolio is API first, and because we structure all of your content, we're able to intelligently embed AI into any part of our workflow. This means that you could use contextual AI to define audience segments, to create content, and to automatically scale up variant production to cater to each and every one of your audience segments. We're truly excited about the limitless scale that these new options open up for our customers. So with Contentful at the core of your digital experience stack, you get the most critical functionality of a DXP on an API-first, highly flexible, extensible platform. We have an industry-leading content platform, an experience design solution, personalization and experimentation, all in an enterprise-grade package that includes automation, security, and high reliability. All of these can be integrated with your choice of commerce systems, campaign management systems, front-end hosting, and data providers. And on top of that, our ecosystem of over 100 integrations allows you to build a custom stack. We have a contextual AI layer that underpins our entire product line, analyzing content, audience, and experience analytics so that it can deliver more personalized experiences throughout our products. And for marketers, this means they can deliver relevant, personalized content across every digital experience, whether that's in web, mobile, email, newsletters, social media. Create once and apply everywhere. It's important to remember that Contentful is one of the few solutions in the marketplace that straddles the fence between technical and non-technical users. While most solutions are either or, Contentful is built for and loved by both marketers and developers. Casual marketing users love Contentful for the freedom that it gives them. New campaigns roll out in a fraction of the time that it would take with other systems. Marketers have less dependencies on developers and outside agencies. And with our new personalization product and contextual AI, marketers are delivering meaningfully better results at scale and can focus on the creative aspects of marketing work. Developers love Contentful for the technical flexibility that it gives them. Our API-first, highly flexible and extensible architecture and our easy-to-use application framework makes it super easy to integrate any third-party technology into Contentful. Just as an example, we already have several customers who are building very sophisticated generative AI workflows on top of Contentful with absolutely no help needed at all from Contentful, using their own models and driving significant value within their organizations. This is something that's only possible with Contentful and the flexibility that our platform provides. And on the topic of extensibility, I'm also excited to announce two new strategic integrations into the Contentful platform. First, Contentful is launching data integrations with both Shopify and Klaviyo so that customers can activate data from both into Contentful personalization to create more tailored, personalized experiences. Secondly, we're also launching an app in the Shopify Liquid storefront that empowers marketers to enhance content creation, streamline localization, and leverage AI-driven personalization within the Shopify ecosystem. Both of these integrations underscore our continued commitment to providing you with the most integrated experience across a best-of-breed technology stack. Now, with no further ado, I'm very excited to welcome on stage our VP of Product Marketing, Kimberly Gong, to tell you more about the new product announcements. Yeah, thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Karthik. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to be here. My name is Kimberly Gong, and I'm the Vice President of Product Marketing here at Contentful. So I've had the pleasure to speak with many of our customers, and what I'm hearing from them as we talk about how they are delivering really effective digital experiences is that while we are in this amazing new era where there's so much possibility, they're still facing challenges, and challenges that I think that we have an answer to. The first one, Karthik already kind of alluded to, is this idea of creating enough content for endless journeys. And before we get into the how we solve it, I think it's important to talk about the why. While we hear that 82% of consumers said that a steady stream of useful content is helpful for them in evaluating whether a product or service is good for them, they're on every channel. They are really thinking through all of their purchases, all of their evaluations on any channel. So it's important that as marketers, we meet our customers where they are with the content that is relevant and unique and important for them. But as marketers, we are also challenged with creating the kind of scale to do that. We are faced with bandwidth, with the cost of labor to really try and meet all of those needs. And then, as every person knows, we also are always facing the challenge to try and do more with less. So as we've looked to AI to help really try to solve some of these problems, we also kind of come into some new realities. And one of them is that not all AI is created equal. So with Gen AI, we have this amazing opportunity to grasp this new technology to really make it our own. But for anyone who has used it, you can sometimes find that the results that you get may not be as personalized or as unique to your brand guidelines. It's a great start, but sometimes marketers have to spend a lot more time developing their prompts that are going to be really perfect and deliver better results. And when they do get those results back, they may still spend time editing and adapting that. Well, that's where contextual AI comes in. What if you could take all of your brand data, your guidelines, your data from your business, and embed that into your generative AI, ground it in that data, so that the results that you are delivering are more impactful than ever? When your AI has all of this data built into its reasoning, the responses that AI generates are incredible. They are much more targeted, they are personalized, they are on brand, and they allow your marketing teams to move fast and with deep impact. So contextual AI drastically increases the performance and the impact that your marketing teams have, which is why we are so excited to announce our newest innovation, AI Actions. This is contextual AI and our version of it and our offering to you. AI Actions is Contentful's framework for AI-powered content operations, enabling marketers to embed generative AI into any stage of the content lifecycle, from creating to adapting to publishing your content. Now, this is a game changer because this is just the start of how we are thinking about giving every customer the ability to embed AI that is contextualized with their own business data. AI Actions can reference content from inside Contentful as well as outside of Contentful, which is amazing. It will lead to high-quality content that can be copywriting, that can be ebooks and blogs. It can also help you optimize your keywords for SEO or create new content based off of your favorite or your highest performing keywords. And it can do translations in any language. And that is going to help you get even more personalized. And we're not talking about just one-to-one translations, but also adding in all of those local idiomatic expressions, time and date and currency preferences, everything that's going to make your content feel real, localized, personalized for every one of your audiences, but to do it at tremendous scale. Plus, AI Actions can be activated individually or changed together so that you can have them into an automated workflow built right into Contentful, optimizing the entire journey, and that content creation process is automated with AI. So your teams are going to be able to move faster and more efficiently than ever before. And then the last part that I'm really excited about is that this is AI your way. We provide you with out-of-the-box models with Claude Sonnet 3.5, GPT-4o, and 4o Mini. But we also allow you to bring your own LLM. So whatever you prefer, we give you the ultimate flexibility to choose the way you want to build. And we also offer an AI Actions marketplace featuring a variety of templates, as well as new contributions from our gold partners, AWS and AKUA. So with that, are you guys all excited? Would you like to see this in action? All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at a demo and see how marketers are going to bring AI actions into the flow of work to take a process that would normally take days or weeks and do it in minutes. All right.
I'm going to show how Contentful's new AI actions enable marketers to work more efficiently. Let's say I'm a digital marketer for a global retailer, and I need to create a blog post to promote our new crochet collection. Typically, this would take me a few days, if not weeks, from creation to approval. But let's see how Contentful does this heavy lifting for me with AI actions. AI actions leverage contextual AI to create, translate, and optimize your content right inside Contentful. In the AI and Automations tab, the first thing I see is the AI Actions Marketplace. Contentful provides a collection of over 20 Contentful, customer, and partner-created AI templates, including the ones you see here from AWS and AKQA, which provide ready-to-use AI capabilities to automate content operations. On the left, the AI Actions tab shows us all the actions my team has created, and Workflows allows me to link a series of AI actions together to run automatically. We'll use both of these in our blog post. I'll go ahead and create a new action to generate our blog post. And when I do that, I'm greeted by a templated prompt that I can edit or add to, and I can also include what we call variables. Variables provide context to the AI and give me more control over the output. Contentful provides a number of variable types to choose from, even including references of external content or data not housed in Contentful, such as customer data from Contentful partners like Shopify and Klaviyo. But for this blog, I know I want to reference a product page in Contentful, so I'll choose entry and publish the action. Take note of that variable because we'll come back to that later. From here, I'm ready to create my blog post. It looks like my teammate already started the blog entry, so let's see what I need to do to finish this. To start, I have a generic title that I'll definitely want to improve. The content for the blog hasn't been started, but there is a banner image. However, it doesn't have an alt text. And all of this is only set up for English. Since a lot of our customers are in Germany, I'll add that as a locale first to create German language options for every text field. There's a lot still to be done, but with AI actions, I can finish this in just a few clicks. I'll start by quickly generating an alt text for our banner image. By simply clicking the AI actions icon on any text field, I can run the corresponding action. Since I want to make an alt text for the image in this blog post entry, I'll select From Current Entry and then select the image. The AI will analyze the image and, in just seconds, come up with the perfect alt text. Now I'll tackle the copy for the blog using the AI action I created at the beginning, which, again, can be found right here within the AI Actions icon. I want the post to match the messaging on our product page. Remember that variable I made to reference an entry? Well, let's find the entry I want to reference. If I search for crochet, I can select the corresponding product page, then select the product detail field as my specific reference for this content. Now, Contentful's contextual AI is referencing the product details as it creates our blog post copy. And done. A full blog post in just a few seconds. From there, I'll knock out the rest of the blog post. Remember the workflows I mentioned earlier? Well, I have a blog post specific workflow set up here. And once I start this workflow, a series of predefined AI actions automatically complete the remaining steps. How great is that? First, it's updating the title. Next, the contextual AI is optimizing the blog post for SEO. And finally, it's translating everything you see here into German, starting with the title, then the blog copy, which will naturally take a little longer because there's more text. And then by now, they will have translated the alt text. Now that that's wrapped up, I can review everything the AI has done and complete the workflow by submitting it for approval. I see here that an approval task was instantly created for my boss. Once it has been approved, the blog post is ready to publish. And just like that, an entire blog post that would normally take days to complete is done in just minutes, thanks to Contentful's AI actions.
All right. What did you think? I know, pretty amazing stuff. And I hope that everyone in the room and online watching can understand and see the vision for what this is going to do to optimize every marketing team to be even more productive, more effective in their work. Now, let's move on and talk about one of the other challenges I've been hearing from customers, and that is around creating relevant content that drives engagement. You know, relevant content is the thing that can really make or break whether a customer pays attention to your brand, continues to engage with you. And 78% of consumers say that they want high-quality, relevant content that works for them. But many times, marketers are really struggling with the ineffective content feedback loops, really understanding how their content is performing, whether it's performing for the right audiences, and really they don't know how to optimize it. Also, this ends up with marketers really building content based on instinct rather than on insights. Well, we heard about this need for relevant content, which is what drove the strategic decision to acquire Ninetailed last year. And now I am really delighted to introduce Contentful Personalization. This is Ninetailed, everything that you know and love, built into your flow of work with Contentful. So Contentful Personalization is now giving you that same full personalization, experimentation, and optimization in the flow of work, and let's take a look at what that looks like. So this, in one holistic view, you get an entire screen where you can see your audiences, your personalizations, your experiences in one place. You can see how quickly how well your different audiences are performing. You can see performance and uplift metrics. This is going to give every marketer deep insights in how all of their campaigns and content are performing. But not only that, we let you experiment and iterate with contextual AI. So with AI suggestions, you can recommend new audiences, new experiences based on your unique data. So instead of marketers having a passive role in looking at content and looking at performance, they get active recommendations to help them continually improve and drive ROI. So this is really exciting, and I'd love to show you one more demo.
Every marketer knows a one-size-fits-all approach never resonates with every audience. Let's see how Contentful Personalization can help a retail digital marketer create more personalized, engaging experiences, optimized for every one of their customers. With Contentful Personalization now fully integrated into the Contentful platform, I can accomplish all of this from the new Optimization tab. Here I'm greeted with a snapshot of high-level metrics on how my content is performing. I can customize this dashboard with any metric I'm currently tracking. Personalizations on the left side gives me access to every single one of my personalized experiences. Experiments give me the same holistic view for my past and current experiments. To drive engagement, I want to personalize the hero banner on my website. But first, I need to determine who I want to personalize it for. That's where Contentful Personalization's AI suggestions come in. AI suggestions use contextual AI to help identify new audiences based on customer data. Let's see what it's suggesting. Eco-conscious shoppers is one suggestion, but this next one is referencing my customer data using the Shopify data connector, and it's suggesting an audience of repeat frequent customers. This seems like a pretty good target for our new product line, so I'll create this audience. Contextual AI will pull in suggested information in each of the fields and set up the rules that segment our customers. All that's left for me is to quickly review and publish to create this audience. Now that I have my target audience, I need to come up with the actual experiment I want to run, which is often the hardest part of the entire process. But luckily, I have an AI suggestion to help me with that as well. Our experiment suggestions in the bottom right help take the guesswork out of creating variants for our audiences. Our first experience suggestion is one for loyal customers. I'll choose that one. In the experience editor, Contextual AI again pulls in most of the information, so all I have to do is finalize the setup. Our primary metric for this experiment will be purchases of our new collection. And instead of an even traffic split between our control and variant, I can use the multi-armed bandit, which is a funny way of saying smart traffic allocation, which will automatically allocate more traffic towards the winning variant. Down below, I see that the Contextual AI has already selected the audience I just created. Now, I can create the variants for this experiment. Within the Variants tab, I see the baseline for the hero banner that's currently live on the website. Down below is where I can use AI variant generation to create a new version of this banner for our new audience with just a single click. Contentful personalization then analyzes the situation and quickly creates a new version of this banner for our repeat frequent customer audience. Let's see how it looks. In the live preview, I see our default banner. But when I activate the experiment for our new repeat frequent customer segment and select the variant I just created, I instantly see how our hero banner will look in this experiment for this audience. I like how this looks, so I'll go ahead and publish this experiment. If I fast forward to after this experiment has been live for a week or two, I can then track its performance in the Insights tab. And, well, by no surprise, the variant created specifically for this audience is outperforming our control. With a 100% probability of being the best, I should probably go ahead and route all traffic to this variant and then find another experience to optimize. Personalizing, experimenting, and optimizing content based on performance data is the key to delivering relevant, engaging experiences at scale. And thanks to Contentful personalization, it's never been easier.
All right, that was pretty amazing, but we are not stopping there. You've just seen two really amazing innovations that we are bringing to you, but we are delivering new capabilities that help marketers and developers alike throughout all stages of their experience, optimization, content creation, etc. So you heard about AI suggestions and AI variant generation in that last demo, but we are even delivering more in the experience optimization category. We're also helping marketers with visual assembly with new design templates in Studio. We're also helping new businesses, enterprise businesses, scale their operations with continued investment for multiple teams, regions, brands, and channels, making it easier to deploy and manage content. And lastly, of course, we are going to continue to invest in our best-in-class extensibility, including new customer data connectors and marketplace apps. And I'd love to also introduce that we have a new beta that we are recruiting customers for custom flags. So we are, which will allow teams to test and personalize content outside of Contentful. So if you are thinking about testing content from your PIM and your e-commerce and you'd like to be part of our beta, please let your account executive know and we will get in touch. All right, one last slide. You know, companies, to wrap everything up, you know, we heard from Karthik earlier that companies are really at this critical juncture where they have an opportunity to differentiate themselves from competitors, to really cut through the noise with their customers and win in this rapidly changing time if they can evolve at the speed of their customer expectations. Our promise to you is that we will continue to deliver the most flexible and extensible platform so that however your business changes, you have the capabilities needed to deliver the most personalized and relevant customer experiences. And speaking of customers, we are so delighted that 3 of our notable customers are joining us today, live in Berlin, to share how they are building the next generation of customer experience. And so, to welcome them onto stage and to introduce the segment, I'd like to bring Sarah Sullivan back onto stage. Sarah.
All right, thank you so much, Kimberly. How about all of the product innovation that's coming out in this new launch? You guys excited? Yeah. I'm really excited about it as well. And I'm also super excited about this next section. This probably is my favorite session of the day. It's a chance to actually talk to our customers and understand how they're leveraging our platform to drive value. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Michael, Andy, Ruth, and Arthur. All right. Well, let's start with introductions. Michael, kick it off for us.
Yes, I'm Michael. I work at DocuSign. I focus on personalization and self-service publishing on our website.
Hello, my name's Andy. I'm an engineering manager at DocuSign, and I focus on the build of the website and the authoring experience behind it.
Hi, I'm Ruth. I work at Intuit MailChimp, and I lead the global web ops team along with localization.
And I'm Arthur. I work at Biogen, and I lead the digital content products, which include the web and email products.
Fantastic. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. As we obviously have heard earlier today, Contentful is expanding into the digital experience space. We want to help customers solve more problems. You all are leaders. You guys have leaned in early to really leverage and try out and experiment with these new solutions that we highlighted here today. So I'm excited to spend some time and share with the audience what you all have been up to. We're going to talk through two main topics today. We're going to talk through personalization first, and then we're going to spend some time talking about AI actions. So, Michael, let's kick things off. DocuSign recently acquired and deployed and implemented our personalization solution. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's start with the why. Why did you guys want to make a change?
Yeah, so about a year ago, DocuSign introduced this new platform category of intelligent agreement management. And it was really important to us as we had all these new capabilities to help create and commit and manage different agreements across the life cycle of our customers that we were talking about the value of our products in a different way. We have more business personas that we had to chase after, and that naturally led us to personalization as a solution.
Excellent. Let's talk about scale. All right, you've implemented it. You implemented very quickly, right?
Yep.
How fast did you implement?
We bought in December, and then I think we ran our first POC and our first test a month later.
A month later, folks. That's fast. All right, that's quick to value. And how big is that deployment now?
There are now millions of people that are seeing some of our personalizations, mainly on our homepage and some of our higher traffic sites. But it's been really exciting, especially as we think about international and how we have all these personalization opportunities for different regions in the world.
Talk to me about those regions, because I know you also do personalization by different industries as well, correct?
Yeah, so our first test, which was a little ambitious, maybe more learning from it, we launched 20 different industry audiences. So things like real estate users or people that work in healthcare or financial services. How can we change the homepage heading to reflect a different value to them, to see, are they more likely to sign up if we have a very specific message for that audience?
Yeah. And is it working?
It's early days. I'll get back to you on how it ended up. But we're learning a lot, and I feel like that's the most important step of this stage.
Well, I mean, learning, if you really think about the essence of a personalization platform, it's experimentation.
Yeah.
It's trying things. I talk to customers all the time, and I oftentimes ask them, like, hey, you have your key message that you have on your website. Are you doing any experimenting? And they're like, well, no, I don't have a platform to do that. And I'm like, well, you're experimenting. You're just experimenting with one version, right? And you have no way to understand, is that message resonating or not resonating? Is it driving conversion and engagement, or is it not? And so this feels like it needs to be the part of almost every program. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because even when we were looking into personalization before we came to Contentful personalization, we built our own solution. It was very similar, coincidentally, to how it was set up with all the same content types. And it was good. We were doing very basic tests to different account types, but it was not scalable at all. I mean, to do something like a test for a real estate audience, we'd have to work with engineering, and we'd have to spend a cycle, and they'd have to build it themselves. And with Contentful personalization, that process of building that audience and experience is now a day at most.
Wow, a day. I love to hear that. I was talking to a prospect a couple weeks ago, and they were sharing with me that with their current solution, that's not Contentful, they struggle to launch experiments. And for them, the most they can do is about 14 a year. I mean, you're doing 20 at a time.
Yeah.
And you do it with kind of a small team. Can you tell the audience a little bit about the team size?
Yeah, we are a small but mighty growth team working on personalization. It's just 3 of us, including myself, that have been able to get it off the ground and really implemented. So it's crazy what we can do with just one engineer, myself, a PM, and then a web operations.
Wow. I mean, there's got to be teams out there who are thinking, that's the size of my team. What am I waiting for? And I think your message probably is stop waiting, get going.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's so much fun to have with all this personalization.
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael. All right, let's move into talking about AI actions. AI actions is obviously a big part of our message here that we're sharing with the audience today. And Ruth, I want to start with you. Intuit MailChimp, maybe let's talk a little about where you're using the platform in your digital environment, and then a little bit about why you wanted to be part of this AI actions beta program.
Yeah, so my team owns the marketing site, so MailChimp.com. Please go visit. And we had been doing an audit of our site, and we noticed thousands of our images were missing alt text, which means a lot of our web pages were not fully accessible. So we started the process of investigating a bunch of different AI tools. We tested about 6 or 7 of them, and the outputs for alt text generation were just too low quality for us. The time spent editing them would make it kind of a pointless activity in terms of time savings to download, re-upload the image into an AI and have the output then need to be edited. So when I heard about AI actions being inside of Contentful, all we did was need to click a button to install. It took less than 30 seconds for us to be up and running inside of AI actions. And now we can just open the image, click that singular button that you saw in the demo, and the output is the highest quality of all the other AI-based generations for AI alt text.
That's fantastic. Now, you obviously talked about accessibility being a key reason. I think that's awesome, right? You want everybody that comes to your site to be able to engage with you all. But you mentioned SEO. Why is it so important for SEO?
Yeah, so we know that it is one of the signals inside of Google's very complex ranking system to determine what is this page contextually about, with alt text being one of those flags. So on top of the accessibility, you have the opportunity to take your important keywords and where applicable and where it makes sense, add it into that alt text field for Google to know this is what that image is about and this is what this page is about.
Yeah, that's great. How's the team reacted? Like, are they excited? Or are they reluctant?
No, they're very excited. This has been 70% time savings. For Darcy Wheeler on my team, shout out to Darcy, has been a huge fan, and we are looking for more opportunities for AI actions now.
Do you have some thoughts of what you'd like to do next with AI actions?
Yes, we're exploring the idea of translation with AI actions.
Wow, all right. Well, that's fantastic to hear. Thank you so much. If I just think about if I was a CMO, so many, and the amount of money that's in a budget for Google ad search, right? Boy, to make that particular channel more effective, more productive for a CMO, I think that would be an obvious place to start, right? If you're trying to figure out, like, where do I go first? Where do I start first? That feels like an obvious channel to start. So glad to hear that. Thank you so much, Ruth, for sharing. Mm-hmm. All right, Arthur, tell us a little about Biogen. Where are you leveraging the platform, and what piqued your interest when we asked you to be part of this beta?
Sure. So maybe to give a bit of context, we use Contentful at Biogen mainly to power our portal, our website portal, meant at healthcare professionals, being a pharma company and all. And we have a main website, an institutional website, and then we have declinations of this website in over 30 countries and over close to 30 different languages. So there's a really important need for localization in our line of work. And how it happened until very recently is that a local team would take the content from the global team, or maybe take content from another local team that they wanted to have on their website. They'd go to their local translation agency, which would come back to them with a quote first, and then there's a back and forth that lasts days or weeks, plus some money that is spent on this. And then they would come to my team, to some of the web content editors who would have to create the page based on that translation. And similar to the time frame that it took to implement AI actions on your side, maybe 35 seconds on our end, we implemented and enabled the translation. We were able to refine also the prompt to make sure that it fits the very jargony medical language that can be found on some of our pages. And we were able to transform that process of weeks and money to minutes and no money. So very good.
I think it's interesting that you guys leverage agencies so heavily in this process historically, right, before you moved it to Contentful. I mean, I'm just thinking about the keynote where Karthik was sharing, this is about a labor conversation, right? This is like, where are you spending money to, have labor do tasks that are oftentimes could be very easily be accomplished by AI. I mean, that's exactly the business case that you're talking about. Talk to us a little bit about the scale. Like you talk about pages that you're launching. Like, how many do you do on an annual basis, for example?
So it's growing, but if I had to give a number, it would be about 1,500 pages a year are published, built on Contentful for our various healthcare professionals out there. And of this 1,500, over 1,000 a year need to be translated.
All right, let's do some back of the napkin math here. 1,000 pages times 30 languages times a couple $100,000 that you're paying to agencies every time you want to translate a page. I mean, that's a serious amount of savings that that will deliver back to the organization. Your boss must be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, now it's at the stage where we need to get countries to adopt it, and I'm happy to say that we rolled this out officially that we're open for business for translation requests about a month ago for last quarter, and we're starting to get requests. People, both on the requester side, are really happy to be able to leverage this, and our content editors are also super happy because it was available a lot sooner than they thought it was going to be.
So you've had good adoption. Are people reluctant? Are you giving them guidelines for how to work to make sure that they're, because you spoke earlier about this is sort of an augmented process, right? It's not just running by itself. You actually have humans in this process. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the blessing and the curse of the pharma industry is that we are very heavily regulated, and therefore all of the content that we show our customers has to be reviewed thoroughly by a handful of humans, both from a medical, legal, compliance, you name it perspective. So the fact that the translation is provided by an agency or that is provided by an AI-based translation will have to be reviewed no matter what. So there's no really fear into translating the content because there's always that fail-safe of having to go into this reviewing system.
Well, I love to hear that because we oftentimes hear, especially organizations that are in the regulated space, like, oh, we can't use AI or not AI here. Or I oftentimes hear we would never use AI for product, descriptions or product, knowledge, things like that. And you're showing how it can actually be used in a way that creates a ton of efficiency to allow your organization and team to grow and scale. That's fantastic.
Yep. It is fantastic. We're really happy with it. And like I said, the main thing that was I think worth noting is that for a long time we realized that this was a need and we wanted to develop it in-house, right? And we somehow got on a demo call with you guys, and as my team and the people, my peers were watching this, we were messaging ourselves on the side saying, okay, so they've done it, we can remove that item from our roadmap, and here we are.
Fantastic. What else is on that roadmap? What would you like to do next with AI?
Like I mentioned, the review process is a bit of a bottleneck, to say the least, to say it politely. And what we're trying to do is see if we can use the workflows that you mentioned earlier in the demo to chain different personas that would review this content. One of the AI actions would be checking, not just for grammar and spelling, but maybe a little bit more intricate, and chaining those so that we could pre-review this content and hopefully reduce the load on the reviewing process.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're excited about automations. It feels like the game changer. It's a way to do this in an iterative way that allows organizations and teams to move as fast as they want, but then do it at scale when they're ready. That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Andy, last but not least, tell us about DocuSign. How are you all thinking about the problems that AI could potentially help you solve?
Well, it's solving a lot of different problems for different areas of the company when we're working with this marketing site. So we have multiple spaces, and each space serves a specific purpose. And different teams are working on these different spaces. So there are different needs in terms of AI for each space. So for more of the marketing, homepage, product page type of need, the AI actions part is really taking a big leap forward when it comes to SEO generation and translation in certain areas. For another space that's more self-service, it's people who come in who really don't know how to build a page. It's more of a flat model. It's not modular. Blog posts, customer stories, and let's say like SEO landers. They have different needs, and what they really like to use is summarization and I guess there's some more SEO overlap there, but really it's a jumping off point for generating new content. And I like to say, like, it's a tool, it's not a replacement, but it's able to be used in such a way that someone sitting in front of a blank prompt isn't overwhelmed, like paralyzed by the enormity of choice when you're talking to a computer that can do anything that you ask it to. So we help them start something, whatever it is, some helpful prompt to get their story written, and then they can jump from there. So it definitely is a shot in the arm for that team, and it can help generate a lot of content quickly. So
That's super innovative. I'm going to rewind a little bit. You talked about translation. The way that you're thinking about translation is slightly different than Arthur and the Biogen team. They're going to use it at mass scale for 30 different languages. You're focusing on some beginner languages, correct?
Correct, yes. While we have, I'll just say, over 7,000 pages that we host on Contentful with 60 languages each, there's a lot there. And it's still early enough where we don't want to lean on AI to translate large amounts of content, because we still want to pick through it. We still need a human to review it, and just for reasons that it should be personalized content and makes sense for our brand. I mean, we use our own models, which is cool, that helps, but we still want to take baby steps with that type of work. So SEO is definitely helpful for the generation, and like Queen's English translations we're finding to be very, very, very accurate and keeping with the brand. So that's thumbs up. And then eventually we're going to be rolling out more and more support for different languages as we test. But it's small steps for a lot of work, but it's been speeding things up.
All right, so we've heard you could install this in about 30 to 35 seconds, depending apparently how fast your internet connection is. We've heard recommendations on where to get started. So it sounds like alt text, SEO are common places where people are getting started. Maybe utilizing it for things like translating US English to Queen's English is a great place to get started, and maybe do that at more of an autonomous way. You mentioned a little bit earlier that you're trying to help creators, inspire them as they're writing new blog entries. And you talked about maybe helping them with prompts, maybe coaching them, giving them some ideas or suggestions. We heard from Kem a little bit earlier that we have in our AI actions capability, you have the ability to build your own. Is that how you're thinking about leveraging and doing this?
Pretty much. I mean, it's not something where we just want to enable all these things that people won't use. There has to be a business case. Like if someone says, hey, I would love to be able to do this in my authoring experience, boom. I mean, that's a good opportunity. So it's a lot of back and forth learning. We're not just telling them how to do their job. They're allowed to say, give us suggestions on how to improve things. That's what we do. That's our biggest customer, is our internal content teams building these pages. So if we can make their job easier, then we'll do whatever it takes.
All right. Anything that you're thinking about next beyond building your own AI actions and inspiring content creators? Is there anything else that you're thinking about that you want to leverage in the future?
I think Michael.
I feel like there's a lot of overlap between AI actions and personalization that we're extremely excited about. I think all of our data, user data, content models exists in Contentful, and so how we're able to really optimize these journeys and give insights to teams that maybe they would have to self-serve across many tools before, but an AI could be an assistant to them. It's going to be a huge advantage in the future. I think personalization in all of our first-party data is really going to be a huge differentiator from our competitors, and really a competitive moat for us.
Yeah, that's fantastic. If I think about personalization in general and what's held organizations back in the past, it's exactly what you're describing. It's this, we want to tailor our messages to more audiences. We want to communicate in ways that hopefully drive engagement, but oftentimes it's labor. It's just not having the time, energy, and resources to simply create all of those messages. And what I'm hearing from all of you is AI is the game changer. AI is the way that you can enable your teams to do more with less. That's fantastic. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us here today and sharing your stories. All right, so today we heard about some of the challenges marketers face scaling their content operations. I want to thank you all today for joining us and learning more about how we want to help you grow consumer demand for hyper-personalized digital experiences and creating these experiences, which is oftentimes hard to do and costly to do. To help customers overcome these challenges, Contentful's evolving. We're evolving beyond our pioneering composable CMS into a modern take on the digital experience platform, one that's flexible, it's extensible, powered by AI, and future fit. We revealed AI Actions, Contentful's framework for AI-powered content operations, enabling marketers to embed generative AI models into any stage of the content lifecycle, from creation to adaptation to publishing. We also showcased Contentful personalization, which enables customers to easily find and manage all of their audiences and experiments and optimize those personal experiences, all in one unified space, right inside of the Contentful app. And finally, we shined a spotlight on our new strategic partnership with Shopify, truly demonstrating how easy it is to plug best-in-class third-party solutions into the Contentful platform. I just want to take a moment today and say thank you to my fellow hosts, Karthik and Kimberly. I want to thank Michael, Andy, Ruth, and Arthur for joining us here today. It's so great to see you all leaning in and being innovators in your space. And I want to take a moment to thank all of you in our audience, our customers, our partners, everyone here in Berlin, everyone that's joining us online. We're excited to join with all of you to power the next generation of digital experiences. Thank you.